about a month ago, I've realized I've chased my final major event. It was a moderate risk over Oklahoma, and I was really excited to go back home, if you will, up from Texas back into Oklahoma, where I fell in love with chasing. I was a super novice chaser, and in a lot of ways I still am, but a super novice chaser up in Stillwater who just in his meteorology class just got grouped with the right guys that also had an interest in it. Now, I had an interest in it, but I was never going to really do it on my own. I always thought it was dangerous. I wanted a group. I wanted somebody that's gone before. And luckily, those were the guys that got me into it. And we zip zapped around all of Oklahoma, got stuck in the mud, got to rescue animals, including what we thought at the time was Reed Timmer's dog. True story. Ended up not being, but anyway. Um, so it just was so freaking awesome. And it was just awesome to learn a lot about meteorology. It's made me a better pilot. It's awesome to get to know the storms and get to know so much of the state that I moved to and gave up my life in Texas and got to see so much of Oklahoma that I never would have seen otherwise. Um, so storm chasing came with a lot of positives. And I don't want to take that away from anybody else. I'm not going to sit here. This isn't going to be a video about pro legislation, and it wouldn't work anyway. We'll get to some of that. It's not going to be a video about encouraging people to not do it. If you want to go do it, go do it. Go do it. I mean, why would I be the one to tell you that you can't? I did. I would just encourage you to be smart about it. I would encourage you to really know what you're getting yourself into, is all. And I think those that realize that where we are at now realize that storm chasing is at an all-time most dangerous place. And I think the ones that don't realize that are the ones that are out there. But here's the deal, and here's the sad reality, is that they're going to be the ones that hurt themselves. This little parade that happens through cities, and by the way, if you're confused on what the thumbnail it was, that is literal chaser traffic. I mean, cars, sometimes 40, 50, 60 cars in a row that just go through these small towns and literally cause sometimes the chase to come to a standstill. Which, I mean, if you're running either to or from a tornado, could be very, very, very dangerous. But it's not the government's job to help protect these people. It's not our job to tell them no. I think every chaser in this country and in this community has to decide for themselves what their personal limits are. In flight school for me, they always talk about personal minimums. And for me as a chaser, those personal minimums are now going to be, do I really want to go anywhere with a moderate risk and 10% chance of tornado 15, no, probably not, because I understand that chasers 400, 500, 600 miles away are going to be there. And I understand that if it turns into a day where there's only one major storm, that every time I run through a one stoplight town, it turns into rush hour traffic in Dallas, Texas. I understand that. So it's my responsibility to go, hey, I'm not gonna just partake in that kind of crap anymore. I'm just not. And that sucks because I really do love chasing, but I understand everybody else does. Because here's the deal, right? If you want to go on Discord, you want to create this little Steam, excuse me, this little Discord group where it's first come, first serve on who's going to chase today or who's not. Everybody, of course, is going to want to raise their hand and not miss out. Yeah, good luck organizing that. Yeah, good luck having a first come, first serve on storms. So just know what you're getting yourself into. And we'll touch on the legislation. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, well, all you have to do is legislate it. Well, really? Because it didn't work very well in Oklahoma. I mean, it was very, very unpopular. And I can't see it passing in Texas with who's in charge. And that's all I'll say. I'm not going to, this isn't a political thing or a stance one way or the other. Just would it pass in Texas with who's in charge? Probably not. Kansas, probably not. Nebraska, probably not. Louisiana, Tennessee, Alabama. So, like, what states are you left where this could legitimately have a shot of even being introduced on a legitimate level? Probably nowhere. But regardless of all of that, let's say it happens. Let's say we have storm chasing laws on the book. You got to get permitted or whatever. Who's to say that permits wouldn't be easy to obtain? How do we deal with interstate laws? Does every state need to have their own permit? Do I have to be permitted in Oklahoma, in Arkansas, and Louisiana? Or does my state permit work there? It's things to think about. But more importantly is, if a non-permitted chaser enters a tornado warning, think about this. Is a cop really going to take a chance and pull him over for storm chasing? You're really going to have a cop that's going to take his time out of serving his community and as a first responder to write some schmuck a ticket? And then he's going to have to put his life in danger and somebody he's detaining, their life in danger by just sitting there in a tornado warning? I know, by the way, not to be extreme, but we're going to like play around and pull somebody over who might be storm chasing, but it ends up being some local woman, a single mom trying to get back to her kids because, the storm is coming. I don't hate the intent. Let's play this through. And I don't see a lot of scenarios where the government is really going to be able to protect people who want to engage in this activity. And that's fine. But at the same time, just know where it's headed. Just know why I'm not going to be out there in the train. Because I just feel like we are headed to a headline that's not going to read good, where a lot of people probably are going to go out on their last chase, if you catch my drift. Because it's only going to take the front car to spin out, and then 20 cars behind them are going to be stuck there, and then the tornado just comes on through. I don't want that to happen, and I pray to God it doesn't. But I just know that it's not going to happen to me. If you want to go out there and take that chance, go out there and take that chance. Nothing is stopping you. But don't ask anybody else to not go out there, because you're out there. What are you going to say to them? Hey, I was here first. Hey, I got dibs on Discord. I just think the community needs to go and approach it at a more 30,000 foot view. And I just think we need to understand it's a dangerous activity. And we need to be mindful in the cities we go into, of course. We need to maybe help ourselves out too. Not passing, in a double yellow, not going 20 over in a 50. We could help ourselves out as a community as well. I do understand that. I completely understand that. So protect yourself. Be safe out there, guys.